Hi, Candace with Grow Local again, and hasn't this just been a year of flexibility, creativity, and perseverance? Everybody's garden has been so different this year. Some are complaining that they're not getting any tomatoes, they're not ripening. Other people are saying that they're absolutely going crazy and they had a bumper crop. So I don't know how it's going with you, but in the long run, I hope your garden's working a little bit of its horticulture therapy magic on you. If you've been enjoying it and you want to extend your gardening, you can do that, and it's pretty easy out here. The best thing you can do is if you're growing carrots or beets, or you've got broccoli or some cabbages and you want to make sure that they're the overwintering kind and they're not going to freeze, you can just take about 4 to 6 inches of straw and you just mulch. You mulch right over the beet tops, right over the carrot tops. You just want to make sure that those shoulders aren't going to get nipped by frost. With your cabbages and the like, then you would just, in your lettuces, you can just stuff that straw in between each plant. Again, trying to keep it so that the roots don't freeze. That way, if you've got a really long row, you can go out and you can actually harvest your carrots and you can harvest your beets right through the winter season or until they run out. It's kind of fun. But one tip, if you're going to do it that way, make sure you got a marker stick of some sort, because if you've pulled up all your mulch and you've pulled up all these carrots and you put your mulch back to save your soil and stop it from eroding or blowing away, next time you come out to get carrots, you're going to go, oh, were they here? Was I this far along? So if you've got a stick, you'll know where you stopped, so you know where to start again. Just a little tip. One other thing that you can do is using a floating row cover. It also goes by a frost blanket, remay, there's a bunch of different names. It basically looks like this. And there are different weights, so that's what you want to look for. This one is the summer one. And it is called a floating row cover because it's so light that you typically put it on in the springtime. And as the vegetables grow, they just gently push it up. It's got no weight to it at all. This isn't what you want for the winter. This is more what you want. And this has been, I don't have my roll here, and this was given to me. It's a well-loved piece of remay. And this is the thickness that you're going to want. It's a lot harder to see through. And depending on how cold the winter gets, you can actually do 2 layers if you wanted, but out here we typically just need 1. And it's easy to apply. If you've got some sticks or some rebar or some pipes, you put that into the ground in your bed, 1 on each side. This I picked up, and it is actually water piping, a water pipe tube. And it's not very expensive. I paid between $1.50 and $1.99. I want to say $1.49, but I'm not positive. And it's flexible, it's bendable. And you just put that over one end. Swing it around to the other end. And that'll stay in for you. Then you're going to put your row cover over top of that, all right? There will be a link probably on the Grow Local website that'll show you how to make a really nice one. But I find that when you put the row cover on, you have to make sure that it's going to stay on. Where I am, I get lots and lots of wind, so I can either put bricks or rocks right along the edge. On here, you can use bulldog clips. There are fancy clips that you can buy, but bulldog clips work really well. And it's just going to hold it in place. And then you would string it along to your other piece. And there's no set limit on how far apart those need to be. Just make it workable. If 3 feet works more comfortably for you, do that. 4 feet's better. If it gets too long, then you might get the cloth a little bit saggy in the center. It still allows lots and lots of light to go through. It allows the water to go through. And it protects your veggies from the frost. It actually can keep the air underneath about 2 to 4 degrees warmer than the ambient temperature outside. And that, oh, you could also use landscape pegs. pieces of wire. This is just an old coat hanger because I didn't have any. And you can actually just use that on the remay to keep it in. But I still like using the bricks. And that's about it. I'm not covering this because I'm not done with it yet. I am going to plant some more winter lettuce and some carrots in here. But right now, I left the corn in. This is the glass corn. I left it in. It wasn't doing anything, but I thought, hey, it's going to dry out. And then I've got some decorations for Halloween. So that's kind of why it was in here. But I did get a surprise. I've got a couple cobs. And I have had the hummers coming and eating the pollen like crazy. So it's just been a big benefit. The reason I haven't fully cleaned it out is because this is what a corn root looks like. It's fairly fibrous. There's a lot to it. You can see how tough these little corn toes are. Did you know they were called corn toes? I think that's so fun. Anyway, those are the corn toes. And if I pulled it out, then it would probably disturb the roots of my squashes that I've got. And I've still got some that are ripening, so I don't want to have that happen. So I just cut them off at ground level. When it's time to pull the squashes out, I'll get rid of the rest of this and finish planting. And then I will set up my row covers. If you've got concerns about, oh my, where am I going to find straw? Leaves can work, and you've got lots of time, you guys. You don't actually have to even worry about covering your winter vegetables until it gets to -5 degrees Celsius. Some of the tougher ones, like your cabbage and your broccoli, you wouldn't have to cover until -9 degrees Celsius. Last year we got a little bit cold, and I didn't cover my veggies at all. And they looked just so sad. They were covered with frost and they were drooping and they were falling over. And then the sun came out and they perked right up. One of them stayed a little bent, but you know what? They produced just as well. It was really fun to see. And that's it for using row covers. Thanks.